Welcome to episode 2, season 2, What You Raving About. I'm Fred. It's JC.
Yes, sir.
Back for the second episode. Let's get right into it. I think the Ravens defense is going to be better than last season. Ravens play the Bills Sunday night in Buffalo, 8:20 at Highmark Stadium. Pick Dogs has predicted the Bills to win, favoring the Bills on the money line, the spread, and total. The over-under is 50.5. The Bills are 1.5-point favorites. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, let's start with the disrespect. The Bills are slated to be favorites, and every game this season is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I actually don't mind people liking the over. But like you just said, I think the Ravens defense is going to be a little bit better this season. Unless the Ravens putting up 35 to 40 points themselves, I don't like that over. I don't like the over. I do not like, obviously, the Ravens losing this game. I think it's a revenge game, even though Harbs and everybody else want to write it off as it's not. It really is. Just a revenge game.
Yeah.
And considering like how we started last year against the Chiefs, and they really wanted that game, and how close they came to winning that,
Right.
I think winning this is more like a statement to we're no longer the same Ravens. We're finally trying to get over the hump, like really over it.
Right.
So I don't like the over. Not at that number. I think this is a little bit lower scoring game because I agree with you that the defense will be a lot better. Also think that the Ravens are the Ravens. They either one start crazy fast or they start off a little sluggish, which puts us in that like 30 some odd point range. And I think, like you said, defense is just going to be lights out. So yeah, I love us to win the game. So I think everything was wrong on that.
All right. The Bills released a depth chart. One note that I took was Trey White was listed as a starting cornerback. He played for us. He played for the Bills. He's back with the Bills now. Last season he was ranked 170th best corner. That's not very good, people. He allowed 127.3 yards to quarterbacks. He actually got injured August 21st and tried to shake it off, but it doesn't look like he may start. He may not start. He's probably be a game time decision. How much of a factor is that going to be?
So Trey White, I guess the misnomer in that number is the fact that he didn't even start for us, right? So like when they did put him on the field, I'm be honest with you, it was an upgrade from 21. So that's something you have to take into account.
We don't miss you, 21.
So Trey White was a really good corner when he played for Buffalo. The injury, major. His age is a factor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that with our receiving core as it is now, and him being an outside corner, I think that puts him in a very tough situation. Because even with age, D-Hop is far superior to most number one wide receivers, none alone number one corners. So you see that kind of hurting them a little bit. Yeah, I didn't hate Trey, but I do know that Trey ain't got what it takes to cover a Zay Flowers or Rashad Bateman down the field.
Right.
And again, even at D-Hop's older age, what are you going to do? Hey, he got to make the tackle.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But D-Hop's a possession receiver at this point.
Right.
So
he's going to catch it, and you're just going to
yeah, so him in or out the lineup, him in the lineup definitely helps the Bills. They need a bona fide corner. Is he a number one corner still? I don't think so.
No.
He's probably like their number 2 corner. He can't play in the slot against none of our guys. So, yeah, is it a factor? I'm not sure. It really comes down to what they believe about their other guys. Like the next guy up, what do they look like? I know their rookie is out on IR, who's a speedster type of corner. So I'm not really sure what that looks like for them. It may hurt. It may hurt.
Yeah, I'm thinking hurt more than help. Just because matchup wise, it's not going to be good for them. Especially going up against Zay in the slot or Rashad on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, and Zay made it very clear that this season he plans to be more of a deep threat. I mean, listen to him on The Lounge or listen to him in his regular interviews with Ryan Mink. All he keeps saying is, I heard everybody. I hear it. Everybody wants me to go down the field, stop juking and run straight. He has in his mind that every time he touches the ball now, I'm trying to get 6.
Right, you're trying to score.
So with that mentality, it does put a little bit more stress on corners because if Bateman was the deep threat last year,
right?
If you get 2 receivers on one team who can be the intermediate and deep threat, oh my gosh. Yeah. Now what you're going to do? And then you got a possession receiver and D-Hop. Right. So, yeah.
Okay. Divisional round game, the Bills blitz 50% of the time. But Zay was not playing in that game. Buffalo will probably try to blitz again to fluster Lamar. What can Lamar do to negate this?
So the misnomer in that number, right? Again, it's like earlier, we gotta pay attention to certain details that got missed. Lamar was the best quarterback against the blitz last season. Mm-hmm. You blitzed him a lot in conditions, right? That's wonderful. That works in conditions because it kind of slows down Lamar. He can't cut as much as he would and stuff like that. And, Elements is really the equalizer for speed and stuff.
Right.
So, in that scenario, it worked really well. It's September. Mm-hmm. If you sending all that at Lamar in September and he has... Now, the one thing that I'm sad about is that we may not have a full complement because if he had Isaiah Likely, we're talking full complement of weapons, right? But he has most of his weapons available. Most of his offensive line returning from the season before. I mean, go ahead and blitz him. I would say that as a defensive coordinator, my thought process would be to rally and tackle people, keep everything in front so that you're not giving up the big play. But if they blitz Lamar Sunday, like heavily blitz him, Zay and Bateman are going to have a fucking field day.
Yeah.
They're going to have a field day. It's just that simple. Because, again, with the Trey White injury, the first-round corner injury, your corners aren't going to be that stout that you can afford to be going.
Can hold and give them enough time to stay with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff Reback stated that Jair Alexander is back in practice today. How much of a difference maker is he going to make? If he will play, I really think that they're going to ramp him up a little slower, bring him in maybe at the 3rd, 4th game of the season, just so he's fresh and ready to go. And he'll be a difference maker when he does touch the field.
So, we got to remember, Jair hasn't played meaningful football since November of last year, right? So, I think the Ravens never intended on him coming in and being like the day one premier lockdown, 4-down cornerback.
Right.
Cheeto and Jair are going to split time. That's what's going to happen. And you got to also remember that we still got Marlon in that mix. Marlon's probably going to play more of the nickel because they like his physicality. They like the fact that he can blitz and go make plays. Coupled with the fact that, no offense, Marlo, Abe is coming, right? So I think that he'll be more of the hybrid. We can inside-outside him because he has that ability. Jair also has that ability when he's full health, right? But Cheeto and Jair, they're 2 pieces of one puzzle. Both of them can play good football. I think Jair is the better. However, they both play good football. Mm-hmm. And they both are injury prone. Mm-hmm. One going to be in all the time. The next one not going to be in, and it's just going to be back and forth, right? I think that this ramp up period is more Cheeto and Jair going to split out there on the outside coverage. So you'll have 6 plays Cheeto, 4 plays Jair, back and forth.
Okay.
I don't think the Ravens actually felt like Jair was injured. Because you think about it, he didn't have an injury designation, right? They more so said he's out with the knee, not he's out with a sprained knee, a sprained MCL, a knee contusion. It was just like he's out with a knee, right? This week, which they knew they was gonna have to report a full injury report by today.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of having him on the injury list, he's on the active practice list. Why? Because, to be honest, I think they was just being precautious.
Right. Okay.
I think the last couple of weeks, they was just like, okay, Jair, we saw what we needed to see from you through the preseason, our joint practices. We know you're still kind of trying to get yourself in a game mode. Your knee may be bothering you a little bit. Let's focus on treating that knee before it becomes a problem again in the season. So I think they kind of shut him down and was just like, all right, we're going to focus on draining your knee, getting you the massages, making sure you do these run drills. Instead of having you be physical with other players and potentially re-injuring it or aggravating it.
Get you the therapy you need.
Yeah, let's just work on making sure your body is ready for the season. So I think that he'll be a full-time, I agree with you, like 3 or 4 weeks down, he might be a full-time player.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now it was just, the point was, let's calm you back down, make sure you're good to go for the season, and then I think they're going to try to split him and Cheeto's time.
Okay. Sounds good to me. All right. Next item, X Factors for both teams. Let's go X Factors for the Ravens, X Factors for the Bills, and then we'll finish up with couple of questions after that.
For the Ravens, the X Factor is going to be the offensive line. I know. Everybody's like, oh, you ain't say Lamar, you ain't say Derek, you ain't say Zay, you ain't say Kyle. No, it's going to be the offensive line. If the offensive line comes out, sets their pad level, for those who don't know, that means get up underneath the other team and push them the fuck back. If they don't do that, then we're going to have a game. If the Ravens bring their pad level and dominate like they should up front, then the Ravens is going to handle business with no issues. I have no quarrels about that.
Okay.
X Factors for the Bills. Interestingly enough, well, not very much so. Their receivers. Keon Coleman has been drugged through the mud all off season about his drills. I don't know if you guys seen them. If you haven't, please go look at these wide receiver drills Keon Coleman was doing. Listen, if these receivers can find a way, because Khalil Shakir is not going to be available, which is Josh Allen's safety blanket right now, right?
For the Bills.
I mean, he loves his tight ends, but that's his receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, if Keon Coleman can't create any separation, which I don't anticipate he will be able to, with Nate Wiggins being speedster, Jair and Cheeto being sticky, Marlon being sticky, and our safeties being able to come down. If he can't create any separation, their receivers are going to be the downfall of their season.
So you just don't think they don't have the receivers right now to have the season that they had last season?
Hell no. Last season didn't have the receivers they really needed to get as far as they needed to. I don't think it gets any easier this year.
Okay.
So the problem is, as they always say, the better you do, the bigger the bullseye on your back, right? So other teams are looking to take you out based on what you did.
Right.
Right? So if anybody else is watching film as I'm watching film, the weakest point is your receiver core, right? So if I got a team that has strength in my corners or my safeties, I'm going to find a way to force you to try to use them receivers more than anything.
Right.
So that puts teams in a situation where you might put a 4-man front, pull one of them four, and say you spying Josh if you got a speed type of defensive lineman or something, and make them go get it.
Okay. Let's go through a couple speed questions.
Mhm.
We're gonna do yards for Ravens wide receivers. Zay Flowers over 50, under.
I'm going over. I'm going over. He missed the game last year. I think they want to get him involved early because he technically, after he missed the playoffs, he really didn't get any time to play, right? So this is kind of more like a, hey, welcome back game, right? I think you hit him with a couple of 15 or 20-yard passes that he breaks.
Okay.
And so, yeah, over. I think he gets at least 4 receptions at minimum. At minimum, I think he hits 56 yards.
Okay. Bateman over 30?
Absolutely. Bateman is over 30. Absolutely. Yeah, that's one catch.
Okay.
Because they're probably going to send him on a deep pass at least once. Now, see that, and that's the thing I want to be clear about. When we talking about these receivers and their yards and their catches, I got Zay at 4 because it's more of a get him back involved game. I think your Bateman's, he might get 2, maybe 3 catches, but Bateman averages like about 10 yards a catch in general. So 3 catches is 30, right? So that's why I got him at least over 30, and he's the deep threat.
Right.
So.
Okay. How many yards on the ground? And how are we going to split the backs?
Splitting backs, now that's tough. Yards on the ground, Ravens run for about, I'm going to say first game, they get about 200 yards rushing. Majority of it obviously goes to Derrick Henry. I'm going to say they keep Derrick under 100. He gets about 80, but he already has 2 touchdowns, so no one cares, right? Okay. That's the type of game I think it's going to be. I think he gets about 80 yards, 2 tutties, because we get down to the goal to goal situations and we hand it off.
Right, hand it off.
Yeah. Justice, I think Justice only gets maybe, I'm going to say at max, he only touches the ball 10 times. Yeah, at max, I think he only touches the ball 10 times. And if we got the game well out of hand, Keaton Mitchell maybe get 5. The Ravens are going to run the ball about 30 to 35 times.
Okay. All right. Score prediction for the game.
I love, in this scenario, I'm going to say about 35-10. I think the Ravens are actually going to handle business. Like you said earlier, the Ravens defense is so much more improved than it has been in the past. I do think they give up a touchdown, but I think it's like a 35-10 type of game where it's just hard-nosed. They're in their face. They keep hitting them. And like I said, they're going to run the ball almost 30 times. So that'll nullify a lot of points.
Okay. Well, I had it at 28-17.
Okay.
Ravens come out with a win. I think that, like you said, they're going to come out and try to hit them in the mouth off the bat.
Hell yeah.
And they're not going to let off the gas. And it's going to be just that type of game where Josh Allen's going to have to play catch up. And he doesn't have the wide receivers to make it happen. They don't run the ball well. And we're pretty good against the run. So that's not going to work in their favor. And I think we're going to get after Josh Allen in this game. And that's going to frustrate him and make it really hard for him to do the things that he likes to do. Okay?
I mean, you got to be right, because we got after him in the regular season last year and made it hard for him. I think postseason is a little different. we had different elements that causes differences there, but yeah, I like it. I like it. I even like your prediction. 28-17 doesn't sound bad at all. You might want to play that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, you might have to. You might.
FanDuel.
I mean, why not? Somebody, FanDuel, DraftKings,
DraftKings.
somebody got it. Correct score. Get it right.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining us for the second episode. Subscribe below. For all my tailgate folk, we will see you September 14th. Everybody else, we will see you on the next episode after the game.
Hey, when y'all get to this tailgate, listen out, man. We might have some special stuff for y'all.
Oh, yeah. When you get to the tailgate, listen out. We're going to have something for you, okay? Thank you.